What if I told you that in just 10 minutes, you could have a custom look without removing any panels? Hey guys, it's Desto with Test Bros, and today we're gonna be wrapping a full door handle. And this is something that I typically recommend to customers who have no experience with vinyl, because I think this is a really good gauge of whether or not it's for you or not. You don't need any fancy tools, no experience, just good vibes, a little patience, and our pre-made custom vinyl. So the first thing that you're gonna need are obviously the door handles. Our kit also comes with the Squeegee and these alcohol wipes, which helps you clean the handle, which is honestly the most important part. It's the first step in all of this. If it's not clean, if there's oil underneath, then it can start to peel up, which is not good. So we recommend really focusing on cleaning it. Some other things that I do have here, this is alcohol water, and then we have a heat gun. A hair dryer works just as well. A heat gun is not required, or a hair dryer is not required, but it does help if you do have one handy. And we also have one of our neat little microfibers to help us clean. So that's what we're gonna start with. So you wanna make sure that you get the door handle, and then you also want to get inside all around the door handle. And then also it doesn't hurt to get around these edges of the door as well. Make sure you get everything in there. No leftover residue. A pro tip is also if you want to get into those edges and you do have isopropyl alcohol, you can just spray, or I guess put your squeegee around the microfiber and spray, and then get into those edges. And that really lets you get into some places that your fingers might not be able to. Yeah. Sweet, I think that looks fine. I'm just gonna wipe it down. We're ready to install. We have our door handle. The first step is I kind of just like to look at it to figure out where I'm going to be aligning. This is kind of hard to see with the carbon fiber, but basically there's a little curve right there. I don't know if you can see that. It's going to be matching that curve right there. So I kind of want to line that up there. And then I just want to make sure that this is lined up. The edge of this door handle is almost going to hit that corner right there as well. And then once you feel pretty confident about it, I'm going to, this is our backing paper. I'm going to take off, there's a cut right here. I'm going to take off this first part. Sweet. And so that's what it's going to look like. So then I'm going to align it like I just had. I'm going to start with this back area. Get that there. And then I want to make sure that I'm aligned here as well. I don't like that, so I'm going to adjust, which is the beauty of vinyl. You peel it up, put it back on. I like that. Okay. Now I'm just going to squeegee it down. Another tip is as you're doing this, try your hardest not to get the vinyl to stick to the paint, or at least like tack down. Because when you try to open the door handle, it just causes more issues later. So I really just want to get this tacked down to the door handle, and that looks good. So now I'm going to hit these edges around here. You're just going to take the felt side of your squeegee and just get in there. The beauty about these door handles as well, we're installing them on the OEM satin black trims, or I guess door handles, but these also work for the older chrome, which is what we designed it for originally before they came out with these black door handles. And then I'm gonna get the top. And this right here, I don't know if you can see this, it's kind of sticking up right there. This is what we're gonna use heat for later, to heat it and then press it down, and then it's gonna stay. Yeah, we're gonna get all the way to this edge right here, and then we are going to peel the rest of it. And you just kind of want to push down right here. You can't see it on there since it's already installed, but there is what we call micro cuts. I don't know, can you see that? So that's gonna be important when it comes to wrapping it around, because they're basically going to lay on top of each other. So that's what I'm looking at here. And I'm gonna go ahead and start pushing that in. There's a micro cut right there, so I just want to make sure that that's in. All right, and I'm going to make sure that the rest of this is squeegeed down. Sweet. Now I'm going to open up the door handle. There we go. You can see how that could be an issue if it was tacked down to the paint. And then I'm going to start on this bottom part and just slowly go back and forth so I can start wrapping it around the bottom. And this gives it an easy, or like an even tack down there. And then once I start to get to this corner, there's a micro cup right here at the bottom. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get that down, and then I'm gonna start wrapping this around and then press that down there. And then we're gonna take heat to that later. So now I'm gonna work at the top. We're gonna do basically the exact same thing. I'm gonna leave this one though. That's gonna be the last piece that I tack down. And I'm just gonna slowly wrap this top part all the way around. And here, there's a little hump right here, so you just need to make sure that you get your finger in there. Your fingers are your best tools, in my opinion. So, and then when you get to that hump, you're just gonna wrap it. Ugh. And sweet. So you can see at the bottom, all of this is wrapped now down here. And so then I'm going to go where these micro cuts are, and I'm just gonna push these down, almost like massage them down. And then I'm gonna slowly, like I did with the other pieces, start working this piece down. It's supposed to lay naturally, so as long as you just kind of follow it as you're pushing it down, it should fall into place. And that's gonna wrap around that back piece. And like I said, we're gonna take heat to these pieces just to make sure that they all stay down and it smooths them out a little bit. And this is the last piece that we're gonna push down, and then we're gonna make sure that the edges are well. And I'm actually gonna use my squeegee for this because I can't get my fingers into that crevice. And we're gonna push that down right there, then use the felt side and get in there. And then it really just goes down. And then you can see that these edges are still up, so I'm just going to, as the doors open, I'm going to start pushing those down as well. The orange side is good here too as well. Sweet. And the initial install is done. So now we're going to heat it. I really love how it looks. It gives it some style. It also protects it from getting scratched. And I'm gonna shout out our B pillar. It gives it a nice little cohesive look. And I think that it's nice. So now that we have our heat gun, I'm gonna go at these edges first. So I'm just going to carefully heat all of this and then let it sit for a second and then just push down. And this just to make sure that the edges, it's what we call post heating, to make sure that there's no bubbles, and it just helps it adhere to the surface. Okay, and then this one, it's a little bit more tricky to get to. You can push in though right here, just don't force it. Just push in a little bit to have it come out. And then we're gonna heat that as well. I'm gonna go ahead and heat the whole thing, just to make sure there's no bubbles. And then just gonna push out and in. And I know y'all might not have seen that, but I just saw it just push in perfectly. So that looks great to me. I'm just gonna go over the edges one more time. Just make sure we got everything. And sweet, that looks darn good to me. And just like that, you got a whole new vibe for your ride, and it looks great. One thing I do want to say is I talk to our customers every day. I'm not a rapper. I actually watched our installation video right before I installed this. It's not something that you have to have experience at, but you do need patience. Just watch the videos, have a little faith in yourself, and I think anyone can do this. I hope this video was helpful. I hope you learned something. If you did, please hit that subscribe button and let us know if you have any questions, and we'll see you guys next time.